The Generation to Generation
We
Cowboy the
live. Let me
Sports
play the
Talk.
intro.
My dad, my partner, my co-host, Cowboy Joe 64.
I am the father.
Just to get the Cowboys 2 good games to hopefully understand that they need to go receiver and go high with this next pick.
Yeah, that's really what this is gonna be about.
All right. Can you hear me? Am I coming in clear?
Yeah, you are.
All right. And I want to play this one too. I put a new. I got a new one that I want to play. I want to see how it turns out, how it sounds. We'll play it too. Let me see.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Let's
Rock with your boys.
I like that. It is draft time. Let's see. That might join.
Hey, can you hear me?
From your. You coming from your.
Hey, come here right quick. Come in here right quick.
I heard you. Hold on a minute.
Go to audio. Go to audio.
What?
Audio. And change everything to the microphone. Microphone.
Right here?
Yeah. Go change the input to the microphone.
Yeah, I can't hear you. It's doing some kind of thing. Right here? Right here? That says speakers.
Just click that.
That should be it, right?
I can't hear you. I think the issue is on your end.
Man.
You want to go ahead and pause the live, or?
Can you hear me now?
Say it again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. So everything is good.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see.
So go ahead and do our intro, and
So yeah, let me do the intro real quick. I like that new one.
you've already played that, yeah.
Yeah, I want to do it again. It's fine.
You going to do it again?
I can.
I don't think you need to.
All right. Well, so who's on the clock right now? You want to go ahead and let everybody know what's up and tell them what we're doing and who all we got and what's going on?
Well, welcome to our broadcast. Got a little technical difficulties to start out with on our first draft show, so that's kind of what happens when you going live. And so right now the draft has started. So we got the Titans up on the clock. So go ahead and talk about what we're doing and what you're gonna be doing. And so I'm listening to .com on my phone. But they got
Okay.
Brian Broaddus and Vach and all of those guys.
You know what? Let me check that out. That's what you listening to? I can put that up. Let's see.
I mean, you're gonna just be able to see the screen, but yeah.
I got one. I got a better idea. Okay, so I thought they would be live. They not. So let's see. The fan. So what? Oh, so you on 105.3?
Yeah, I'm on the Cowboys website.
Okay. So where is? I wonder where is Broaddus and them at? Oh, they probably at the Star, so they probably live on Dallas Cowboys. Let's see.
So the NFL, the .com team, they're on the fan. It's on the fan. I'm listening to it.
Okay. So I'm gonna go to Odyssey 105.3, the fan.
So we kind of hearing some rumors about the Jaguars trading up to 2. We're hearing some rumors about the Cowboys, trying to trade up, trade down. Nothing really solid at this point.
See, when I share it, it'll be like this. Let me see. When I share it, it'll be like this. Tell me, can you hear it and everything?
Side of the ball, because I think he can be an all-pro at whatever he decides to do.
Yeah,
I think he absolutely
just
can be
hear
one
the
of the best
audio, and I
corners in
can't hear it.
football. I think he can be one of the
You
best
can't hear
receivers
it?
in the league. I
I
got him
can.
as the best corner in the
okay.
draft. I had him as
Yeah,
the
you can just
number
put that on
2
pause.
wide receiver in the draft, but I think he's probably more wide receiver ready right now. But when it
You
comes
hear
to
me?
corner, I mean,
So where is so what?
This is the
So where is the
exclusive
actual?
of Dallas Cowboys football. KRLDF.
Yeah, you need to pause that. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Where
the
is
what?
the?
You want like the
Yeah,
war
where?
room cam and all of that?
Yeah, where is
It's
that
on
at?
DallasCowboys.com.
Okay. Let's
And
see.
you'll be able to see them, and well, you'll be able to see Brian Broaddus and Vach and those guys.
Like I said, I always have a hard time finding it.
You just go to DallasCowboys.com. I have it on my app on the phone. That's how I'm able to go straight to it. But if you go to DallasCowboys.com, it's gonna be on the home page.
I'm on the home page. I don't see anything. Oh, I see it. I think this might be it. Yeah, this is it. They talking about Cam Ward right now.
So Roger Goodell is announcing the first pick.
Yeah,
It's a big turnout in Green Bay.
Yeah, for it to be like that, it kind of look weird to me. I don't know what that's about.
So the weird part is the actual room. It kind of looks like they in a like a meat market or something. So Cam Ward is the pick. The Tennessee Titans. So 2 is where the excitement is going to start because there are some rumors.
Oh, Drag's already traded up.
They are okay, yeah.
Jags trade up. Let's see.
They may be going for
Abdul.
he might be going for Genty.
Golly.
So we're gonna join. We're gonna listen to Boss and them thing later too.
Yeah.
They traded 2 firsts, a second, and a fourth. That is crazy. That is just unbelievable.
That doesn't make any sense.
And they doing all of this for Genty
What?
or Abdul Carter.
That doesn't make any sense.
So they saying if you want to have Ted fall to you, this is the first domino. If you're kind of looking at that kind of thing.
That's true.
So earlier today, there was some talk about Walter Nolan, and a lot of people was just like going off, thinking that was like smoke. You're hearing some talk about this offensive lineman Zabel at 12. So I think what the Cowboys are doing, they just sending up, I think, smoke, just trying to throw people off. So that's definitely a possibility.
We know at this point they want Ted. We know that. We know.
Trying to get the information on this trade. Man, the Browns. This is another example of why your franchise is never done. It's not a thing where, you're like, okay, we can't do anything. And even if you got a franchise quarterback, they've shown it. All the stuff that's happening with Deshaun Watson, we've seen the Eagles get rid of Carson Wentz. So if you know what you're doing, you can just turn your franchise around. So yeah, it's if you got a good front office, people that know what they're doing, you in the NFL, you can rebuild your team pretty quick.
Yeah, you can. I mean, yeah, certain teams, I hear you, but the only team that we know that really just like, that do it like that is the Eagles. Other team be out of there.
Do what? Like what?
That just make a bad pick and then all of a sudden do something bad and then just act like it never even happened and just move on. Like I don't like the Browns. It would be I would like to see the Browns just drafts a new quarterback, but
what's up, Kevin?
I don't know what they got going on.
Oh no. So that Kevin is saying that Jaguars moved up for Travis Hunter.
That's insanity.
Trying to refresh my Twitter. Yep. So it's Hunter.
Wow. I'm looking at the draft. It is Hunter. I'm watching it.
Yeah. So this is crazy.
It's crazy, and it's shaping up. Oh, go ahead.
My thing is, and I haven't really talked about this on the draft on our shows. I think he's a receiver. I think him playing corner, I would be fine with it in just on a nickel and dime. But in the NFL, injuries are a factor. You can just get hurt pretty easy. And but I think he's a receiver. What did you have him as?
A receiver. I mean, he couldn't guard Ted.
Yeah, he had some problems against Tech, but he's a great player.
Mm-hmm.
So you see Vach on .com. Shout out to Vach.
All that for Travis Hunter, boy.
Well, Jacksonville, they got to do something because they trying to get people to come to the games. They trying to build a new stadium. It's a city that doesn't have a lot of money. A lot of times you hear people talking about the NFL really shouldn't even be there.
Yeah, it's not really. Jacksonville is not nothing like Miami or none of that. It's not one of those places in Florida that's really an exciting place to be.
Yeah. So there are some rumors that the Giants are trying to double dip. They're gonna try to make a splash and try to get Jackson Dart.
Well, let's see. I gotta go get my charger.
All right. So DJ Jules has stepped away. It's gonna be one of those kind of shows where we just kind of ad lib here and there. But so far, we heard some rumors about Dallas wanting to move up. We know they want to move back, so have to just see how it plays out. But yeah, that's a lot for Travis Hunter. So it looks like he's gonna be playing wide receiver, which is what I think is his best position. I just think playing corner in the NFL, playing in the nickel and the dime, he can probably do it, and I would have him doing it, in certain situations. But I think he's a receiver. So now we got to figure out what's going to happen with Shador. There are a lot of NFL general managers. They're trying to kind of hate on him a little bit, so he might end up falling. Hopefully, he don't have like an Aaron Rodgers or Lamar Jackson type fall. The good thing is he's not at the draft. He's not going to be just sitting in the green room if he does fall. Now, my understanding is he's not there, but so if he falls, that was a smart move on their part because you don't want to just be sitting in the green room. But I think Shador is going to have a good career. I think he is going to have to adjust a couple of things. he looks like sometimes he might be he need to lose a few pounds, I think, so he be a little bit more mobile. Are you back?
Yeah, so they got Travis Hunter.
Yeah, Jacksonville.
All right, traded up and got Travis Hunter. That's great.
He was
deserves it.
introduced as a receiver cornerback.
That's wonderful. Was it like that was like the first time in history or something that had been said?
I don't know. So, yep.
Let me see what they saying real quick. Hold on. They showing the war room now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
They
fantastic.
go
Watch,
back
let me
and
just-
forth.
let me just ask, who's wide receiver one there? Is it Brian Thomas or is it going to be Travis Hunter now?
Yeah, that's gonna be
Can
fascinating.
you hear
too.
Broadus now?
How,
And
how
Voch?
does how do they juggle
Yeah.
that as well? How does Brian Thomas feel about this? There's a lot of things.
He gets some help. He gets some road coverage now. He loves it.
All right, we're getting a good look at the Cowboys war room now on the video stream side of things. Now, the pick is in for the New York Giants at
So this
3,
is the Cowboys
no
war room.
movement
A lot of
yet.
people not
We did
familiar
see
with
in
this.
our group
This is
text
what
that
it
there
looked
could
like
be
when they're
some
drafting.
possibility of movement one way
So
or
we'll
the
be
other in
able to
this
tell
top
who they
10.
gonna
Let's take a
draft
look
just
at
by
what is
the
set up
position
here
coach that
on
comes
the
in the
screen
war
for us
war
to
room
watch.
when it's
Of course, in
time.
the
If it's
center,
a
you've
if
got
it's
the
a
main man. You've
defensive
got
coach
Jerry
coming,
Jones
Eberflus
in his
walks
normal
in.
spot with
It's a
both
defensive player.
Cowboys helmets and the
If
silver-clad
if
dome
It's kind of hard to
in
hear
front of
you
him.
when they're
To his
talking. There you
left,
go.
or excuse me, to his right, to our left is Brian Schottenheimer, first-year head
Now I
coach
can't
for the
hear you.
Dallas Cowboys. On the opposite side, it's Stephen Jones.
I can hear
with
them.
Charlotte Jones right to the left of Stephen, or to Stephen's left. Then you got Will McClay a couple seats down. You
I
have
can't hear you.
Paxton Alexander along with
Say something. I can't hear you. So right now they showing Jerry in the war room with Steven. That's Shotty on the left. I think that's Jerry Jr. And
Nobody hear me now?
I can hear you now. So I've actually been in the war room. We did the tour. We went to the war room.
That's cool.
It looks it's like it's just a big conference room. So now the Giants are picking
They picked Abdul Carter.
Abdul Carter. New York Giants. Wow.
So they got their version of Michael Parsons.
Yep.
And they probably finna trade Kayvon Thibodeau.
Fantastic pass rush for those guys.
He's outstanding. I hope he ends up being a massive bust and is
Yeah,
not
Kayvon
good at
Thibodeau.
all.
Hell yeah, little Chuck.
They may
and
be
look,
kinda
until he
disappointed
leaves
with
New
him.
York and goes somewhere else, then he can really start his career. But yeah, the dude's incredible. I mean, he's disruptive. He lines up all over the place.
A
Multiple
great pick for
spots.
the NFC East.
He is. You're designating extra help
Man,
constantly for him.
they sure
Playing
got him
college
walking a
football
long way to
he
get to
does
the
have a medical
stage.
flag. So that's something to monitor moving
What
forward.
is that?
The character stuff. I mean, we know about the shoulder that he dealt
They
with.
showing him
Might
walking
be
to the
footage
stage. He
as
been
well.
walking for a
Penn
minute.
State, you heard mixed stuff coming up when it came to the character when he was coming out. But clearly, you look at the player. He was the number 2 player for me. He's sensational. I think he is better actually than Micah was coming out of Penn State.
I think he's got some Jarrett Verse to his game. When you watch him,
Yep.
that long guy with some bend and being able to kind of, be able to kind of play with some power, but also his ability to kind of, like we talked about, bend that corner, the flexibility and stuff like that. So
He the
he's
first
super
guy they
impressive,
showing
too.
him. He don't have a suit on, a
Did a
suit
really
and
nice
tie.
job
Normally guys
kind
wear a
of
suit.
moving
He got
around
on some kind of,
finding matchups for
I don't
him.
know what he got on.
Via Diana Rossini of the Athletic.
Where are you
the
seeing
Cleveland
that?
Browns
I'm
are
just
taking
seeing
all
highlights
teams
of him.
interested in the number 5 pick. They are open to moving
Yeah.
down again.
On my iPad, you know, I'm on the NFL Network.
Whenever it comes to the Cleveland Browns,
They're loading up for 2026.
Oh yeah, he
Well,
got
go
on.
ahead and put
So
them,
let's
put
take
the
a
audio
look
for them
at it.
on
We're gonna
mute.
take a break
So
on the radio side of things. More to come as we are currently on pick number 4. The
okay, yeah. So the Patriots are next.
What we got for what the Patriots looking like? What you think? What you think they gonna do?
They're talking about Will Campbell. They just reported that the Browns are now trying to trade down from 5. What do you think about that?
The Browns are trying to trade down from 5. So the Browns didn't. Who did the Browns get?
You know, they
They
traded
didn't
from
get. They
2.
traded. They
They
picked.
traded from 2 to 5. So now they're trying to trade down again. So
So-
you heard it here first. You know what they doing? What they gonna do?
What?
They gonna load up for Arch Manning. That's what they doing. 2027. He got to play 2 more years, so that's 25 and 26.
Some teams, some organizations just can't get it done.
Now,
The Patriots finna take Ashton Jeanty.
think so?
Yeah. They ain't gonna take Will Campbell or Armand Mimbu. And then that's gonna be the first thing to fall where the Raiders, we trying to keep teams from getting tipped. And the Raiders, shoot, what they want to trade down for 5 for, what they want, 2 first-round picks. They already got 2. What they want. They just got all that. Travis Hunter going to
Bobby
Jackson.
Belt is reporting that Ted is the pick if he gets to the Cowboys.
Yeah, we know that. The question is going to be, is he going to make it? Who's plan B?
Golden or so per Bobby Belt, it's going to be Golden, Michael Williams, Tyler Booker, or Walter Nolan. I would be fine with everybody on the list except Walter Nolan. Well, on his list. And if I get Walter Nolan, I'm having to do it in a trade down. I'm trading down to like 23, 24. I'm not taking him at 12.
Yeah.
So check this out about the Browns. They traded a whole bunch of number 1s for Deshaun Watson. They done got all of that back and more. It's just great. It's just great management.
They got all that back and more.
And that contract is not going to stop him from doing anything either. It's probably one of the worst contracts you've ever seen, but that ain't going to stop them. That's what NFL teams do. The only
Patriots drafting Will Campbell.
Will Campbell.
Mm-hmm. Ashton Genty.
Well, that Will Campbell or Genty?
Will Campbell. So Genty finna go to the Raiders.
So they gonna end up with Genty anyway. Wow. Well, what I don't understand about the Raiders, I'm not a huge the quarterback. I'm just not a fan.
Geno Smith.
Yeah, he's only good. If you play 17 games, he gonna play 9 great games. He gonna have 8 games. You're gonna be just like, what is he doing?
He just a tied me over quarterback. He not meant to be that guy.
So I don't understand why they went with him and then gave him a contract extension.
I don't know. I thought they was gonna take Shador.
I did too at first.
But people got to give me credit. I kept saying that Shador was going to be there when we drafted, and I was right.
Yep, and they not going to take him. No, they ain't taking Shador. Shador probably going to end up falling to the Steelers. But something that I'm thinking about, I think what the Steelers going to do, they probably want him. What the Steelers are going to try to do, they're going to try to trade down and still get him. And if it don't work out, they're gonna take Jalen Milroe. That's my prediction. Now I said last night, I wouldn't be surprised if they take Jalen Milroe.
Mm-hmm.
So this pick is already in.
Mm-hmm.
So if you need to go off camera, and I can, I'm good. Where is he?
In the room.
I mean,
Cleveland Browns take Mason Graham.
So 105.3, the fan, they behind, or whoever you're looking at on your phone, they just ahead of the game. So the Browns took Mason Graham, so they didn't trade back.
Raiders finna get Genty.
We play the Raiders out there. So y'all ain't trying to go to that game like y'all be going to the fights. It's gonna be less expensive.
Yeah, that's a good thought.
Y'all ain't talked that in the cousin Jedi Council.
Nah, but we need to. Shoot, they gonna have a nice defensive line. They got Homeboy, and then they got Mason Graham. Woo!
Now it's gonna be a lot of Cowboy fans going to that game, but
no, I'm talking about Browns. They got Mason Graham now.
Oh, I mean, yeah, they gonna build their team. They gonna use free agency too, and then they gonna.
Miles said we can do that. Look on the screen, we can do that. Go to the game.
So they gonna build their team, and then they gonna lay low, and they gonna get a quarterback. Now it might not be Arch Manning, but they gonna get a quarterback, and then they gonna be straight, and then they gonna be right there with the Ravens and the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Miles, I just gave y'all a trip idea.
Mm-hmm. Vegas is a hot spot. That's my favorite place to go. When I vacation, I like to vacation. And Vegas is just that. You can go to Vegas and you don't even have to leave the hotel room. You don't even have to leave the hotel. You can just gamble downstairs. You ain't got to leave the hotel. When we was at the MGM, the MGM is like I don't know what to call it. It's like I don't know. They got everything downstairs. You got clubs, restaurants, shopping places for buy clothes. They got like indoor, outdoor pools.
Yeah.
I mean, the casino is one of the best in the world. You go to the MGM and stay. You don't never have to leave. You can just stay at the MGM. You're not gonna run out of stuff to do. You want to just go across the street to the strip and get like some very one of a kind type of food, like the pizza from the Italian places and all that kind of stuff. You can be right there on the strip. You ain't gotta go
It's gonna be a
nowhere.
whole bunch of Cowboy fans. It's gonna be a home game for Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be crazy though in there with the Raider fans.
Mm-hmm. The black hole.
Well, it's gonna be interesting to see whether when the schedule come out when that game is.
Yeah.
I told Coach Graham, we Cowboy fans. He like a diehard Kansas City Chiefs fan, and I asked him did he want to go to the Chiefs game because they play here. He talking about he rather just watch it at home.
Why he say that?
Just being an OG.
I can see that.
Yeah, when they lost, I waited about a week before I called him.
Yeah, I remember that.
Judge,
Shout out to Coach Graham.
I told him it was a repeat of the Tampa game.
Coach Graham, a lot of people know Coach Graham. He one of the most famous. He probably is the most famous coach in the Metroplex.
Yeah, he in the Texas Sports Hall of Fame.
He is. Everybody know him.
So yeah. I need to call Coach.
Mm-hmm.
And Kansas City, they gonna just sit back and get a good player. They gonna it's gonna be just Kansas City and the Eagles. They gonna be sitting down there and somebody they gonna just sit there and just get them.
Look at Mason Graham.
Yeah, Mason Graham. Now he's a one tech, right?
Mm-hmm. One thing I noticed, and what I'm saying, these Hispanic Latino brothers and the other people, they balling. I didn't even know Mason Graham looked like that. I thought he was black.
No, I think
look at him.
My thing done stopped over here. Let me see. Oh, I'm back.
Oh my God.
Now another pick has gone in. So who got picked?
I mean, we knew who the Raiders was gonna pick.
Oh, that's Mason Graham they showing.
Raiders picked Ashton.
I need to refresh my 105 because I'm behind.
Just go on Twitter.
I'm on Twitter.
Well, just type in Raiders in the search bar.
I think I'm caught up now.
Raiders pick Ashton Genty.
Man, this draft. And just think about this too. I was thinking about this today. If we hadn't to beat Cincinnati, we should have lost to them.
We did lose to Cincinnati.
I thought we beat Cincinnati.
No, we lost on the last play of the game.
Okay.
Homeboy fumbled. Remember, we would have won that game. We would have made the playoffs.
Okay, so we should have lost to the Commanders when Turpin ran that kickback. And it was another game we should have lost. And if we had lost those two games, we would probably be picking like 7 or 8. And it ain't no way in the world the 49ers should be picking in front of us. We had the same record and they beat us and they picking ahead of us. This NFL, boy, all these years, they keep getting these comp picks. They got a comp pick when Daniels went to Miami because of the minority coaching thing. Like, really? Man, that's a lot of people at the draft. So they right next to Lambeau Field. I didn't know that till now. Just now, it's like a okay.
Well, I said it's probably cold out there.
Probably
like 60. It probably feel good to them.
Yeah,
we'd have jackets on.
So Jay Tuck is up there. Shout out to Jay Tuck. He went to the draft.
Shout out to Jay Tuck. I was talking to him a minute ago.
Man, they got a big old huge NFL, man. Don't nobody do it like them.
No, it's year round, you know what I'm saying? If it ain't the draft, it's the combine. If it ain't the combine, it's the season. If it ain't the season, it's the playoffs.
And what they doing, they moving the draft from city to city, which is genius. Because originally it was in New York, and then they trying to get the combine out of Indianapolis and do it the same way, which is crazy.
Now it's finna get crazy now because you got the Jets.
That's what everybody's saying. So who you think the Jets gonna take?
I mean, people keep saying they're gonna take Tyler Warren. I mean, I don't know. Other than that, I guess because I don't pay attention to the Jets, so I guess they would have me. Then I said that did Travis Hunter go second tonight? He did. He went second. He went to Jacksonville. As a matter of fact, shout out to Nano. The Browns traded like 2 first-round picks to get up there to get him. The Browns traded 2 first-round picks, a second and a fifth to get up there to get Travis Hunter. So he went second.
And that's a good team for him to go to.
Yeah, I think so. Now, Tyler Warren is probably. I mean, I guess the Jets will pick Tyler Warren. I don't know. The Jets selected Mimbu.
I want to do the 105.3, and it might just be because I'm on my phone, but they're like a pick behind. I done refreshed it multiple times. So.
No, I'll take that back. They haven't picked Mimbu. They didn't pick Mimbu.
The Jets?
Uh-huh.
So you got the Jets. Then the Panthers. So the Panthers is your first threshold for Tet. Now, is it somebody that done failed to the Panthers that we didn't think was going to be there? Do the Panthers like Jalen Walker?
I think the Jets got Mimbu. Let me see who the Panthers like.
So we play the AFC West. So we got the Chargers, we got the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Broncos.
Jalen Walker.
Jets?
Carolina.
That's who you think they're going to pick?
Yeah.
Well, we hope. Man, I hope that Ashton Genty has a long career. I hope that the Raiders and Pete Carroll is a pretty smart coach. They need to get another couple of backs and don't run this young man into the ground. Because of the way he plays, he won't last very long. They need to just look at what happened with Derrick Henry and
Saquon,
Joe Mixon, all those guys. Their careers. We didn't do that with Zeke. Genty got on a clean tux. He excited.
He's a dog.
Yeah, man. They just need a quarterback, man. Ooh boy. Geno. And then they gave him a contract too.
Pete Carroll gonna draft Jalen Milroe.
Boy. That's gonna be nice.
That would literally be like Russell Wilson and Beast Mode 2.0.
Yeah, that NFC, the AFC West is the East. We doing some things.
Now, Jalen Walker, um, uh, Jalen Walker, and Tyler Warren for Carolina. If we can get Carolina to take Tyler Warren or Jalen Walker, it's smooth sailing from that point.
You got the Saints is next. But if you're looking at who might take Ted, it's the Saints. Brian Broaddus reported today that he thinks the Saints looking for a weapon.
Well, if we got to get Golden, hell, we just get Golden.
And I would be fine with trading down.
Yeah, Ashton Genty went to the Raiders. Absolutely. Like what we were just talking about. Like Ashton Genty went to the Raiders. So Pete Carroll is the Raiders coach. You know, Pete Carroll used to coach the Seahawks, and they had Russell Wilson. They had Marshawn Lynch, the beast mode guy. You know, and so we're thinking that the Raiders got Pete Carroll now, so they're trying to redo that. You know what I mean? So Pete Carroll, you know, he drafted Ashton Genty with the Raiders. And so we thinking that he gonna Pete Carroll gonna draft another quarterback later and try to recreate what he had in Seattle. They're showing the war room.
They're not doing nothing.
I wonder what they move up to get to get Ted.
There was some people reporting earlier today that the Cowboys were thinking about moving up, trying to,
They got their grandsons up in there. Their grandsons every year that goes by, their grandsons be more and more active and active and active, and they look like they active today. Look at all three of them on the side over there.
Yeah, they doing though. The family business, they getting them ready for when Jerry retires.
Mm-hmm. Everybody on the right of the screen, that's who gonna be in charge when Jerry retires. From Steven to Charlotte to the rest of those three or four guys right there. Those four, including Will McClay. Those gonna be the four guys that's running the team right there next to Charlotte.
And hope what that means is even with the younger generation of the Jones family, hopefully they kind of had his mindset. Young people like to win. They just infatuated with winning. And hopefully they just start rubbing off on some of the senior people in the organization. Like, we got to start doing some things different because we're not,
Mm-hmm.
young people are very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't just okay with, hanging around the rim. These, people growing up playing Madden, they often just competitive. They play sports their whole career. Their grandson, probably the oldest one, he played football for a minute, played for Arkansas. Then they had another grandson that went to Texas with Overshawn. So that's what's needed. They need some new generation of people that's calling the shots and trying to why are we doing stuff this way? We got to change up what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And technology and
they gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? That's what they gonna do.
Yeah.
But they grandsons and all of them, they grew up with, with like you said, they want to win. They gonna want to win. They gonna, you know what I'm saying? They other grandson, he know Arch Manning.
Yeah, the grandson that went to Texas really talked him into drafting Overshawn.
Exactly. He was Overshawn's he was Overshawn's locker mate.
Yeah.
So, they ain't playing. Then I say that's generational wealth in action. It sure is. Membu.
For who?
Uh, the Jets. All right, now Carolina on the clock.
This is your first domino.
Let's see.
I hope Aaron Glenn is going to go in there and just kind of change the culture of the Jets. They got Aaron Rodgers up out of there in the first few minutes of the meeting. It was like, bye, Felicia.
And they called him up there too to tell him in his face.
That's an old school move. You do that in person. And now they saying that the Steelers are still talking to him. That's why if they pass on Shador, it's gonna be because they still plan on going with Aaron Rodgers. So that's why I said it ain't a done deal that the Steelers would take Shador. Now, what you think about this? What if
the Panthers took Tet?
They did.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, there you go. And that's the pick that we should have had.
Well, there it is.
That's why they and see they fans, they media, they new media and all of that. They've been talking about Ted from day one. So their team, their ownership, they weren't gonna let this player get by them.
Well, now I'm ready to trade down now.
Yeah, I'm good with trading down, and I'm still gonna stand on business and say, do not stay there at 12 and take Walter Nolan.
Oh man, say man, man.
The ticket, the fan, they on break.
They took Tet, so. It's gonna be golden if we stay in there and pick.
Yeah, and golden will be okay if we stay there and pick him. I was thinking about this today. You know who
Jalen Walker? If Jalen Walker there, they're gonna take Jalen Walker.
I'll be okay with that. I was thinking about this today. I think Golden, he kind of remind me of
Steve Smith.
Nah, he better, way better than him. Antonio Brown, to me, he could be that kind of player.
I hope so.
So look at the war room. So they ain't like. I think what's kind of crystallizing now for me, for the last couple of days, I think they knew that Tet wasn't going to get to him. That's what I think. That's why you've been hearing all this talk about golden. They knew, they had intel that said Tet wasn't going to get to 12. At least he didn't go to the 49ers. So it is what it is.
Jalen Walker would be an incredible addition to the defensive line that needs a lot of help. That's the thing about Carolina. They're not one of these teams that has filled the needs across the board.
Well, they ain't even got the pick yet.
They just need help in a number of different ways. As we take a look.
On my head, said they on commercial. I really hope we can trade down. We're going to find out. So once they get this pick in, I mean, you can call it. I mean, I can just stay on and you can come back and forth.
Yeah, I'm finna call it right now. I just gotta make sure when I log off. I mean, when I walk out of here, everything don't shut down. I gotta do this the right way. Let me see.
Well, Cowboy fans, most people are seeing that the player that we wanted, Tetero McMillan, is off the board. And now we look for a trade back, possibly. And if we take Golden, I'm okay with the pick. If we take Jalen Walker, I'm okay with the pick. I'm pretty much good with any pick. Booker, Simmons, anybody except Walter Nolan or Shamar Stewart. So what that means is we just get a good player, and then our second and third round picks are going to be, critically important. But any one of those players that we're talking about at 12 is going to be a good player. If it's Jalen Walker, I don't know, what his role will be, but he's a player. Golden is a player. I still like Ibuka, but if it's Booker or Simmons, we're great. And all that talk about Tet, he ends up going in the top 10. But good thing is, Miles, he didn't go to the 49ers. So I think the 49ers, if he had been at 11, they was going to try to get us. But so yeah, we're just getting close to our pick. So Miles, who you think we're gonna take? Dada was in the chat. Yep, he went to Ted went to the Panthers. Shout out to Dada. He went to the Panthers. You think Golden, Miles? That'll be a good pick. Yeah, man. I'm like, we won a few too many games. We could have had that pick. Hey, Jeremy, appreciate you joining. I'm thinking Shador is going to go to the Steelers. If the Steelers are going with Aaron Rodgers, he could fall further than that, and the Raiders will probably try to get him. But at the moment, I'm thinking he's going to go to the Steelers. So we'll see. Watching highlights of Ted, man, that's the one everybody wanted. What you don't want to hear is that they take Walter Nolan. That's the only player I don't want to take. They can take anybody else. So and hopefully we get a trade down. We'll see what's gonna happen there. So trading down, and you could trade down and look for Ibuka. You could trap Booker. So hopefully we can trade back. So now we've got the Saints on the clock. I'm thinking they're going to take Tyler Warren, the tight end from Penn State. And it looks like the Saints are taking Kelvin Banks, the tackle from Texas. That's a surprise pick for me. I thought they would go with an offensive player. So I'm hoping the 49ers at this point, I'm hoping they take Walter Nolan to take this player off the board for us. And then that way we can just pretty much have a wide open board at that point. So the Saints are taking Kelvin Banks. So that was a player that we really like too. I think he's going to play guard in the NFL. And so that's a good pick for them. So now we just need the 49ers to take Walter Nolan. And then at that point, the draft for us becomes pretty easy. We're going to get a good player. He's the only player that we don't want. And if we can get a trade down, that'll be terrific. So of course, Kevin Blanks paid for Texas, and we are huge Texan fans. We got our fam, Colin Simmons, who was the freshman of the year. Looking forward to his sophomore season. Excited about what he's doing. Texas, I think the two big teams now in college football is going to be Texas and Ohio State. Of course, Oregon is going to be right there. I think Alabama is going down. But you're looking at Texas, Oklahoma, Oregon is going to always be competitive because they can just recruit. But that's going to be, if the Cowboys were smart, they would just start drafting a whole bunch of Texas and Ohio State players, including in this draft. I'm hoping the Cowboys can figure out a way to get Isaiah Bond, the receiver from Texas, in the late rounds. So Jules thinks we're gonna take gold, and we finna see. So if you guys watching, so you can see my 49ers took Michael Williams. Okay, so Dallas is on the clock. Man, so the moment we've been waiting for. So the moment we've been waiting for months. Cowboys are on the clock. Let's just see what's gonna happen here.
All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm trying to go to the war room. They got
Can
the
you hear
war
me?
room on. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So the war room is not moving. That's live.
The war room is moving.
Are they on the phone or on my screen? The war room is froze.
They're talking to Shotty. I don't know if this is live because they behind. Let me go to Dallas Cowboys and see.
I'm on there. I'm on it. I'm on it now. I can see what you're saying. So that's live. So who you So your person that been announcing all the picks real quick, who you been following?
It says that I don't know. I don't see anything.
On the person you're following?
Yeah.
War room is not really doing anything. They just sitting, so they must have done sent the picking.
Yeah, I think I think we traded our pick.
Huh?
I think we traded our pick. Every other pick has been just like on it.
Yeah.
They our pick ain't on it.
I think what they doing, they waiting for the phone to ring. They just waiting. See, people know who they're gonna pick. I'm going back to that static sound I could hear earlier.
That's the radio.
But I think what they doing, they waiting on the phone to ring.
They are on the phone. They got they traded the pick. Will McClay is on the phone.
Okay, well, they either doing that or they just letting the clock run all the way down just to see if they getting a call.
I'm hearing that they gonna pick Tyler Booker.
What you hearing? What you saying?
I'm not seeing anything.
The radio, they way behind.
Shh.
All right, folks, this is the moment we trying to figure out, looking at all our resources, and we can't figure out what the heck the Cowboys are doing. What's really crazy is that all of the picks that have been done so far, they come in pretty fast. So they're either trying to trade down or they're trying to run out the clock. Now, Steven is on the phone. It looks like they may have made a trade, which is fine. So we finna see. The trade back is really a good option if they did that. Man, it's so they looks like they talking trade back, but we're hearing trade back or Booker. If it's Booker, that's fine. He'll be a starting player day one. So yeah, what they doing at this point, they just letting the clock tick down. They probably waiting for other calls. So the picks, you got Booker, Golden, Walter Nolan. Are you back on?
Yeah.
What your source is saying?
You say what?
What your source is saying? Nobody's saying anything?
Mm-mm.
Man, that's so weird how all these picks have been coming in.
What I am hearing is what I am hearing is
Turn the background music down some. There you go.
no, we took Tyler Booker.
They did.
Yeah. Yeah, we took Tyler Booker.
Well, so that confirms a couple of things that lets you know the receivers. It's gonna be some work in round 2 if you take one at all. And that's better than Walter Nolan. He'll be your starting right guard. I mean, he gonna play. He gonna be good. So, content creators, CFT, J Tuck, Landlord, Henny on Boston Them Show. Henny just left the screen. He left. He's out. Henny walked out. Henny's out of there. He been saying it all day. He kept his word.
All right, so I'm showing it. So I'm showing this tab now, so everybody can see what's going on. This is who we got, y'all. Mike just text me.
What do you say?
Let's see who y'all pick.
Lou excited.
Yeah, shout out to Lou. Yeah, we took Tyler Booker, so you know. He's a starter day one.
Oh yeah, he's a starter day one. He's starter for your next 7-8 years. Your offensive line, you got Tyler Booker, BB, Tyler Smith. Now we just need to get our left tackle. You building another great wall.
Hey, that's good though. I like the pick so far. This is an A. This is an A.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I'm just glad you still there.
yeah.
I'm just glad we didn't take, Walter Nolan or Shamar Stewart.
Mm-hmm. And I want to share, what Gavin said the other day.
What do you say?
I'm gonna show you.
You got to go get Keenan Allen now, or trade
Or
for Mikhail from the Lions.
mm-hmm. Like I said, we really just, it didn't, we almost there. This is what Gavin said the other day. You see that?
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, it's a lot of people want to go O-line. We got to shout out to Lou.
Shout out to Lou.
I sent him a message.
It
We
says,
got to get Lou on now.
yeah. It says, oh, look what that I said. Let's see what that I said. You see that?
Say what?
See what that I said?
What do you say?
Look right there. I put it on the screen.
Here we go, Cowboys.
I don't know what you're looking at. At the bottom of the screen down there, it says Melvin Finley Jr. You don't see that?
Yeah. I saw that. That was on there while you was gone.
No, I just put that up there, what he just said.
You talking about Gavin Dawson or Dado?
Dado.
Here we go, Cowboys.
You're not looking in the right spot.
Yeah, I'm missing it.
So you don't see the section down here at the bottom up under where Gavin Dawson is? Where your picture is? Where I am?
Oh, yeah. 50th anniversary Walter Payton selection, Chicago picks Coast and Loving.
Yeah. Then he put this. This is exciting. Happened to be on your sports talk show. I'm glad you're watching, Dado. Shout out to you. So that I didn't figure out how to get on YouTube and make comments. K-Rock said, is Smith at tackle or is he playing left side?
Who?
Fam.
Tyler Booker?
Yeah.
He's starting at right guard.
Yeah. I'd say you both on wrong though. Both on wrong of those. But both on wrong on both of those. He playing right guard. He's taking the Zach Martin spot. That's going to be our guard for the next 10 years. He's probably the best guard in this draft. Unless you, well, who's the best guard in this draft if it's not him?
It's him. He's the best guard, and Simmons is the best tackle. Some people will say that Booker at 12 is high for him.
Yeah. But, this is what you got to look at when you're looking at Booker. So this is not your average Cowboy, like, oh, we're going to pick her, and he plays left tackle, and we're going to move him to right tackle, and he played left guard, but we're going to try him at center. No. Booker is a right guard. He plays right guard, and he's the best right guard in the draft. So, he's going to be good. He's going to be starter day one. Now, my only thing and my only problem is what I've been having a problem with the Cowboys for the last 5 years. They just, for some reason, they act like they don't need weapons. I don't know. They just act like, oh, CD is all we need. That's it. They don't do anything. They just say, we don't need a running back. They just say, we don't need a second wide receiver. We got Jalen, we got all these other guys and people. We got 4th round picks that we traded for and all this kind of stuff. They just like totally ignore weaponry. So tomorrow, we're going to see if they get a weapon. Well, tomorrow they're going to have to get a running back. There's no question about it. Now, if they don't do that, then, I don't know what to say because it's just like, we get it. Booker over Golden, because truth be told, Booker over Golden on Igbuka, that 12, to me, 12 would have been high for Golden and Igbuka. Just like it's high for, just like it's high for Booker. I mean, that's just, it is what it is. But I'll tell you this, we had 5 people that we wanted them to pick. Those people were Ted, Golden, Igbuka, Josh Simmons, and Tyler Booker. That's who they were.
Hey, can you send the link to Uncle Eric?
Yeah.
You got his number?
Yeah. I'll send it to him. Mike on. You see Mike on the comments?
Where? Hey,
Shout out
Mike,
to
what's
you.
up?
Shout out to you, Kinfolk. Cause there he go right there. I put him on the screen. Let's see. Let me send that. Oh, send your dad the link.
Good to see you, Mike.
Yeah, send your dad the link. I'm about to send it to him, but you send it to him too. Yeah, you send it to him. I sent it to you.
Okay.
Now let's see. Let's see what we got. So this is what I wanted to show right here. So I want everybody to see this. Now we picked at 12. Okay. Let's look at the big board and let's see where these guys are. So Tet is at 12. Matthew Golden is at 19. Josh Simmons is at 24. Tyler Booker is at 30. Egbuka is at 29. So if we would have picked Egbuka, so Egbuka was at 29. Is ranked 29. Golden is ranked 19. So we didn't, it's not the sexiest pick, but what you just did was you pretty much just got Tyler Smith. Player like that. Like it's not that sexy.
It's a solid pick.
It's an A. That's the grade.
And you didn't take Walter Nolan or Shamar Stewart. That would have been just a horrendous pick. Now, let me say this, and I'm talking to Boss Cowboy and them on their show. Right now, what you have to do, you have to call Keenan Allen. You got to try to make the trade for Jameson Williams from Detroit. I don't think Amari Cooper is an answer. Who else we talking about? You got to make a trade for a receiver. You got to bring in Keenan Allen. And I might add, you need to try to figure out a way to get Isaiah Bond or Tez.
Yes, yeah, you have to.
Tez.
You've got to. Because they're going to probably take 2 running backs in this draft.
I wouldn't even put money on that because that'd be too smart.
Him screams toughness. And, I think there's plug and play right there.
They absolutely need to take another running back.
So let's get that.
2 running backs.
Miami Dolphins select Kenneth Grant. Ooh. Defensive tackle.
I like him.
See how high he went?
That was earlier than I was expecting.
I got him at 19 on my board.
We ain't even been looking at the last few picks, so who went where?
Is, I would guess. I talked to people. People I talked
You can
to
hear the tab, right?
Pretty sure Gant was.
Yeah, I can hear the audio
today.
from the
I know there's some
fan.
talk he could slip into the second round. The other two that you heard
Tankathon
about
ain't even updating their
Nolan and Harmon
website.
after
No, they
Mason
don't.
Graham. And I think there's
That's a good
questions
thing.
about both of those players for the league. Grant is considered a clean
No,
prospect.
that's a
in
good
terms
thing.
of health,
But this is what I was saying. You need to take screenshots of Tankathon right now because after tonight, it's going to change. The moment that the first round is over, this is all going to change, and it's going to show next year's Tankathon. So you're not going to see.
Have you taken a screenshot of it?
Yeah, I've already took screenshots of it. You're not going to see this anymore after tonight. When the draft is over, this is going to change. And so all of the players that's left on the board, you're not going to be able to see. So that's why I say it's good that they don't change it because you get to see who's still on the board. If you got screenshots of it, you can see who's still on the board, who went where, what's going on. But after tonight, it's going to change and it's going to show next year's draft. That's why I was saying last year on tonight, when I updated, when Tankathon updated, Egbuka was the first receiver. Last year tonight, Egbuka was the number 1 receiver. So it changes,
So the Dolphins got Kenneth Grant.
That's what I'm saying. You see how high he went? They talking about he a second round pick. Oh no.
Who a second round pick?
No. Kenneth Grant.
No. Landlord is hot.
Yeah. Well,
Henny ain't came back.
Yeesh.
Oh, he might be back there. I think that is Henny down there. But man, yeah. So this is it's a solid pick. You know, it's a best case scenario. They could have definitely went golden. I really hate we missing out on Ibuka. It's gonna be a good player, but so now you gotta make a move for a receiver, and automatically your draft pick next year is just it's receiver right out the bat. So that's kind of where you are.
Well,
Is it Jameson Williams from Detroit?
Yes.
You know, unless you can pull one off and get your guy, who I'm not very that high on, Sutton. But the problem with Sutton is that the contract, and you know you got to give up a big pick.
If you get Cortland Sutton, you just got to draft one next year. But Cortland Sutton is going to be day one starter. You have 1A and 1B when you have him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shador falling.
He falling. The good thing is he didn't go to the draft, so he's not gonna be in the green room like Aaron Rodgers was. So Aaron Rodgers was the original green room, just uncomfortable thing. He's supposed to go like in the top 10. He went in the late 20s to Green Bay. And then it happened to Lamar Jackson. Did Lamar Jackson go to the next day, or he went at the end of the first?
I think it was the next day. I'm not sure though.
Go back and look at that.
I just remember Granny.
Geno Smith was also the one that was supposed to get drafted, and he went to the next day.
I know you're talking about quarterbacks, but I'm talking about Randy Gregory is like that too. They brought all those players out there, the top 30, and he was the one standing on the stage.
Yeah, I'm just talking about quarterback.
Say
that happened to the corner of that we should have took last year that went to the Steelers. What was his name? His dad played in the NFL. We should have took him. That's who we should have drafted. Can't think of his name.
Yeah, that's who we should have picked.
He was in the green room.
And we should have picked him at the top of the second day.
No, we should have took him in the first.
Oh yeah, he was right there.
He would be your starting corner.
Yeah,
right now, and he played okay. You know, I thought he was going to actually be better, but he's still a starting corner.
Yeah,
Joey Porter Jr.
Joey Porter, but his dad,
Yeah, and he played okay. You know,
that's why I think honestly, I think that the Steelers is going to take my boy.
I think they will. They might.
Tyler Warren went to Atlanta.
Wow. You know, think about Atlanta. They got all these explosive players, and I'm not impressed with their coach. I've never been that. He's just not one of those guys to me.
I mean, what you gonna do when you got?
He's basically like, to me, he's a Jason Garrett type coach.
Yeah, you got Bijan, Tyler Warren, the other tight end,
and they don't like Kyle Pitts. They don't like him in Atlanta. Pitts. They talking about, it was some people talking about they might actually put him on the market. We'll take him.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
But yeah, I think what's the coach name? Man, I'm senior moment.
I don't know. I know who you talking about. I got his picture. I know who you talking about. But the star of the show in there. Who was the star of the show in Atlanta? Did he go to? Who was their offensive coordinator?
I don't know. They got a coaching staff that's not well known. You know, they got Michael Penix playing this year for the first time as Michael Penix might.
Raheem Morris.
Yeah, Raheem Morris. He's a Jason Garrett. You know, just it ain't nothing special about him. But he's been one of those guys that's been able to get jobs, which that part is good. You know, the other coaches get them jobs like that, might as well be,
See, that's what I'm saying right now. Everybody talking about Shador is getting humbled. No, he not. This ain't no humbling for Shador. Shador don't care about getting passed on. He gonna dog these teams
No.
that don't that don't draft him. He knew Shador knew that he was not gonna get that they was gonna
Yeah, that's
pass
why
on
he
him
didn't
and
go
do
to the
all of
draft.
this. Yeah, he don't man. This ain't no humbling experience for him. He don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? You know who he is and who his dad is.
I'm
They
gonna
are
go.
fully aware.
I'm gonna go off for just a few minutes and get my
All right.
drink, update my drink, and turn my light on. I'll be right back.
All right. They are fully they are fully aware of what's going on. And they knew where it wouldn't surprise me if he don't go today at all. And it wouldn't surprise me if he go to the Steelers. You know. I think he fully expected to be where he at. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to you, 6'3". You know what I'm saying? No, I expect for Shador to thrive wherever he go. He gonna make them pay. The NFL they do this. The NFL they do this to people. I don't want to say they do it to, black people, but they do it to people. When you come in the league and you arrogant and all of that and they try to put this propaganda on you and say, oh, he think he all of that and blah 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 blah. These coaches and these GMs they like to stand people up like that. It's a lot of people in the NFL they don't like Deion. They don't care for all of that flashiness and the arrogance and the cockiness. They don't like all of that. So, that's the ball game that you're playing though. When you decide to take that route and not be humble, then and not show, you don't have to be humble. You know what I mean? And if you're not and you feel like you that good, then I mean that's how you are. You know what comes with that. It's just like Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather wasn't humble. He wasn't humble at all, but he knew he backed up everything that he did. And a lot of people want him to lose every time that he fight. Even though people know that it's a slim chance that he gonna lose the fight, everybody will bet against him because they don't like him, because he's cocky. They don't want people like that to win. And he will win every time because he back it up. So, it's people out there, believe it or not, they didn't like Muhammad Ali because he talked too much. So, it is what it is. He's still the best of all time, the greatest ever, regardless. So, Shador is gonna be good. I don't have no problem. I do hope he ends up in Pittsburgh. I would want him to end up in Pittsburgh. That'd be a good look for him. But I don't know if he's gonna go today. I don't know. He's not even at the end. He's not even there because he knew what time it is. He knew what time it was. You know what I'm saying? They do it to the perceived. And they do it to the perceived divas. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. They can call it what they want to call it. It is what it is. He ain't the only one that act like that. But the proof is in the pudding. Once Shador get on the field, he gonna be good. Yeah. Then that's gonna be his mantra. His mantra is gonna be all these teams. You're gonna see a Gatorade commercial, and it's gonna be like all these teams passed on me, and all these teams said I was doing and said I wasn't gonna be great. And then you're gonna see him balling in a Gatorade commercial or a Nike commercial. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's see what Brian Broder's name is talking about. Let's see.
Line of scrimmage now, huh?
Let's do it.
Let's
do
do
on
it.
all that shit.
Here's Mr.
Yes,
Jones,
sir.
okay?
Okay.
Your offensive coordinator is a true offensive coach lineman at heart. You know that, don't you? Oh yes, sir. I know that.
Oh, you
I
know
that.
Okay, well, you know him, but you got a lot of backing. I'm an old offensive lineman. I'm an old offensive lineman, believe it or not.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
They always are the best looking. They're the smartest, and they own the damn team. So that's an offensive.
Oh, definitely.
Hey,
Oh yeah, best
Well, they
looking
got
for
Jerry on.
today.
all right.
Mhm.
Hey, listen, good
What
to
he,
have
who are you
here.
talking to?
Yes, sir. I'm
Tyler
Big
Booker.
Cowboy.
A lot of support in this room. A
Yes,
lot of
sir.
support.
Thank you so much. I
Okay.
can't wait to get there and get to work.
All right, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right. I'll talk to y'all soon.
And if you're listening on the YouTube side or on the Twitter side, our stream will go down here momentarily. Only a limited time streaming there. You can catch all of us throughout the weekend on DallasCowboys.com and on the Odyssey app under 105.3 The Fan. So special thanks to all those that are tuning in on that side. You get to hear Tyler Booker there. I thought there were a couple Easter eggs there for Brian, all of us to kind of dissect. I thought the Houston comment was interesting. I thought the way that the offensive line reacted was interesting.
Clayton Adams said we are ready to move the line of scrimmage, and he said duo and everything.
So Jalen Walker went to the Falcons.
Going to be some combo blocks. It's going to be some body move. You know, we're having
I
conversations.
thought you said Tyler
Are we
Warren
gonna
went
be
to the
like
Falcons.
an
He went to the
outside
Colts.
zone type team. Are we going to be up the middle? Or where are we going to be running? If we're going to be duoing people, we're going to be moving.
Tyler Warren
moving
went to the
one
Colts.
ticks
Oh.
and picking them up.
I don't
and
know why
carrying them to
mine
backside
said the
linebacker.
Falcons.
So that's a good little hint there.
You hear anything out of that, Brian, that stuck out?
No, I just they were very, very happy about the pick, and you know, and this is a guy. This kid's got a great personality. You can
Rodney
tell
said
that-
he'd like to
like I
pick.
say, he's one of those guys. When you watch him play, for a man this large,
Uncle
he
Squeak said
moves
he just
so
got on
well.
and he didn't hear
Hits
our
the
thoughts on the
second
pick.
level, the combo blocks, plays in space. I mean,
We said we
he's-
liked the
he-
pick.
he
We
plays
wanted
on his
Ted.
feet.
Ted
When you
went
try
off
and
the
rush
board
him as a
early.
pass rusher, it's hard.
You know, we really was just hoping that we didn't draft Walter Nolan. That would have been like a disaster. So, you know, Booker was one of the guys that I said I would be good with. So Booker, Golden, you know, who
Josh
else can we
Simmons.
have? Simmons, Josh, you know, Simmons. So Booker, he's gonna be your day one starter at guard. He's gonna be solid. He's gonna be a good player. So now the negative part is Uncle Squeak, his receiver. So what they have to do now, they got to bring in Keenan Allen, or they got to trade for a receiver, Jameson Williams from the Detroit Lions. Here's the thing. If they think that they're going to go into the season with Jonathan Mingo, Brooks, Tolbert, and you're going to be competitive, that they highly mistaken. So they got to have another plan. The problem is you don't trust that they have another plan.
Well, I
Oh.
mean, I think they do because, you know, Shotty was saying, like, we need a dominant second receiver. He said that.
Well, they had a chance to draft one, but
They had Tyler Booker higher on the
They
draft
did.
board.
and they tried to trade down. That's obvious.
Mm-hmm.
If they had traded down, that's probably what they would have did. They would probably traded down and took a receiver. But
Well, like you said, all along, all of these first round draft trades that we've been doing, that probably wasn't, you know, we did the right thing by standing there and picking.
I told you that. I don't think they're gonna be able to trade down on the second either. Now that's what they finna do next. They finna try to trade down in the second round. I don't think it's gonna be easy. I'm at
Uncle Squeak.
Atwell.
Yeah, he said I'm at an
Plus
Atwell
the
Hulsey
annual
annual
draft
draft
party.
party.
He said Atwell then Hulsey.
Yeah, you know he be doing his, you know how he do.
Oh,
He
the
be,
Atwell Hulsey.
yeah, he's at an Atwell Hulsey annual draft party.
So they probably like at somebody's house or something.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I'm saying, you know how he do. Uncle Squeak, they be having reunions for elementary.
Shout out to Atwell and Hulsey. Your mom went to Hulsey.
Mhm.
I think she went to Hulsey her 7th grade year or 8th grade year. She went to Story.
The school with no windows.
To the legendary Hulsey and Atwell in Bow Story.
The school got no windows for real.
I went to Brown, so I was a Trojan, T.W. Brown Trojan. Brown was probably my favorite school.
I hear that a lot. Everybody that went to Brown always say that.
Yep.
That they had fun at Brown.
The weird thing is, I really like Brown. I hated Kimball.
Mm. Don't let Rodney hear you say that.
Yeah, they all went to Kimball, right? That's where his dad
Mm-hmm.
went.
Yeah.
I played football with his dad. I told him that. He said he knew that.
Mm-hmm.
So his dad was the starting tight end. I was the receiver.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah. His dad played tight end and defensive end, and I was the receiver on the freshman team. First year I ever played football was my freshman year, and I started.
Shout out to Uncle Mo. I didn't know he was the starting tight end.
Yep.
Well, Rodney, we gonna have Rodney on the channel because Rodney does a lot for the
Oh yeah.
community,
Talk
and
about the Titans.
yeah. So my family football team that I always talk about, Rodney is the president of our generation. He took over. So Rodney is the generation. I mean, is our like so our dads put it together and then they passed the torch to Rodney.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have Rodney on so he can do his thing because he's a big he's an important fixture in the
And the Titans
community.
got their first championship.
Yes, out of all these years, 25th
24
anniversary,
year, 24. Well,
24.
we're really 24, but we going into 25.
Yeah, it was breaking
Yeah.
news though. Everybody, it was crazy because everybody was texting me congratulations.
So what was the age group?
You get to ask Rodney. I don't know, but you know, it's a big deal. So we're gonna have Rodney on. I told him, really, I want to do it like I told you, my style of interview. We're gonna have Rodney on, period, though. A couple times, more than once.
Yeah, we building our channel. We gonna have Rodney on. We gonna have Miss Jeanette and her Cowboy organization on. Obviously we trying to do some stuff with Colin and it was somebody else that I was thinking about. But we gonna throughout the year. Now that we got everything up and running with our channel, we gonna be like wide ranging.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, we're gonna.
I like that. We're a community-based channel. We do a lot in the community as it is, but we're gonna bring it to the channel.
I'll be out in the community Sunday, so we're doing what we're trying to do is do the voting thing year round versus just the major elections.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Noops.
Mm-hmm. The Mecca
Dallas alumni chapter. So yeah, it's gonna be busy year with our channel. It's gonna be obviously Cowboys content, but we're gonna be doing some other stuff. But we got a friend of ours, Miss Jeanette. She has a Cowboy fan club, and it's like 200 and some members. They're like nationwide, and they travel to all of the Cowboy games. Now, sometimes when they travel, they actually go to the game. Then sometimes they just tailgate. So
they was at the game that got rained out last year.
Which one?
One of them games got rained out. It was delayed. It's a Thursday night game and got delayed because of the rain.
That was Pittsburgh.
Yeah, in Pittsburgh.
They was in Pittsburgh, yeah.
They was.
So yeah, they got a real interesting organization. They do it's mostly it's a charity organization. Cowboy fan club. And man, they got like the jackets. They look like
a biker club.
Yeah. And they travel. They go to every away game, and of course home games too.
We're gonna have the president on.
But it's Oak Cliff Community Care, so they serve all of the kids and families around Redbird Mall.
Mm-hmm. In the Redbird area.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we was at their office. We did an interview in her office, and we did an interview there, and so we'll probably post that on the channel too. When we first got started.
Yeah. So I wonder what I always talk about my green screen. You see Mike up there. I wonder what Mike is thinking right now.
We probably can find him.
Does he have that look that he has on the screen?
I don't know. Let's find out. I'm proud of Mike. He didn't got out the way because right now all the attention on Shannon Sharp now.
Say what?
So all the attention on Shannon Sharp right now.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of these guys doing this stupid stuff. I don't know if he's guilty or not. It's just it's just when you make it big, count your blessings. Just be humble and chill. Stephen A. Smith does that too. Obviously, he ain't been in no trouble like that, but these guys just get too big for their britches. It's like, can you done made it? What do you bring into the atmosphere as far as like helping people, being positive, just being a positive light, all this crazy stuff, you know, Stephen A. Smith talking about running for president, come on, man, really? Just cut the crap.
And then you got to be smarter than that. You got to just do smarter things. You got to start recording everything that you do. You got to have no cell phone policies, NDAs, all of that. You can't just be walking around here just like Michael Irvin did. You can't, when you talk to people, you can't just be talking to people ducked off somewhere in a closet. You got to be like out in the open where everybody can see you. You should always have a security guard with you or somebody that you don't even have to be your security. Because I know security is expensive, but you should just have someone, your right hand man that just have his head on straight, and someone that's always on the lookout for craziness, and they should always be with you. Always. They should be with you always. And then that person that way, that person can look and say, no, you know what, this don't look too right. Mm-mm. I know she want to get a photo and talk to you and all of that, but you know, we gonna just we gonna just keep it PG. We gonna stand right here in front of
Well,
all these cameras.
and the other thing is, like I said earlier, what you need to do is the majority of your time needs to be just doing good things, doing stuff in the community, helping people, promoting people. Just your time and energy needs to be, what are you doing that's helping the cause? That's what you should be doing. All this other stuff. Shannon Sharp, he at the Laker game fighting with what's his name, Dad. It's like, really, just stop. Stop all that.
Oh yeah, Ja Morant, Dad.
Ja Morant. It's like
T Morant.
Come on, man.
But Ja Morant is a whole other thing too.
And that goes back to what I said. When you're making money, what is your energy bringing to the arena? Is it just nonsense and chaos? So let's see who done got drafted.
Oh no, we ain't even paying attention to them no more. Let's see. Shamar Stewart went to the Bengals.
So Jalen Walker went to the Falcons. Walter Nolan, the great Walter Nolan, went to the Cardinals. We'll never hear from him again. Yeah, see you. Wouldn't want to be you. Shamar Stewart went to the Bengals. Babe, good luck. Seattle is on the clock. So we getting close to the Steelers. You seeing anything on Shador?
No. Stop hating on my boy, man. People need to stop hating on my dog. Y'all lucky I'm not the GM of the Cowboys. I would have took Shador.
Yeah, I like the offensive line the way it's, BB, Booker, Tyler Smith. Now, Tyler Guyton, he gonna stand out like a sore thumb if he don't step his game up. And I just don't think he's a good fit. He doesn't look like a tackle. But we could be wrong. We'll see. We finna see what it's gonna be. Is he about that life? Because I don't think Shotty and the offensive line coach that they have, Riley. I don't know. I told you the Sandman from the Apollo Theater. I think he's standing by. So yeah, I would like to see him trade down. What Jules
Okay,
doing over there?
I'm finna go. I'm gonna log off and go back on.
Okay.
So we got Will Campbell with the Patriots, Mason Graham, the Browns, Ted went to the Carolina Panthers, Kevin Banks went to the Saints, Colston Loveland went to the Bears. Now, why would they take Colston Loveland over Tyler Warren? That is just don't make no sense. Michael Williams, we got Tyler Booker, Kenneth Grant went after that. And, oh man, none of the receivers have went. Uh, Jalen Walker went to the Falcons. Walter Nolan went to. So ain't no smoke. We finna see what Seattle do now. Ain't no smoke. We ain't got nobody now. We gonna end up getting on Marion Hampton.
Man, that would be great.
What if Ibuka is there in the second round when we pick?
I don't think he's gonna be there.
Well, they ain't none of them ain't went.
I mean, but what's going to happen? It's going to be a run on players, and they'll go. We still in the first round, so I don't see Ibuka and Golden. Now, let me say this: the whole time, Tankathon had them in the second round.
Hey, they sure did.
So
it's a very high possibility that you still might be able to get one of them.
Would you trade a pick from next year to move up to get him?
I would. I would be aggressive right now. I'd do that. Yeah. And then what I'm saying, you trade a pick from next year, go on and do that, and then you still get your running back in the second. You try to pick for next year.
You be trading up your second to get Ibuka
for next year.
No, you trading your second this year and a pick for next year.
Oh no, I don't know about all that.
Yeah,
I'll trade a third round pick in the second next year, or something like that. But I gotta get a starter in the second round, and I gotta get a starting running back because they can get a running back in the third round if they have to take a wide receiver in the second.
Yeah, the second round receivers, Jalen Royal, he is a little different from what we have.
Well, you gotta think about, like I said, they haven't went out on a run yet, so it's possible that you can get one of the top 5 receivers in the draft in the second round because you might get
Burden could be there at 44.
Oh my God! Now, who would you take for Burden or Caleb Johnson or Travion Henderson or one of them?
If Burden is there in the second round, you're taking Burden, no doubt. If any one of the receivers are there at 44, you're taking them. You have to.
That would be wonderful. And then you take R.J. Harvey or Travion Henderson in the third, whoever's still there. Quinshon Judkins.
Travion Henderson's gonna be in the second.
One of them gonna be left.
And they might, like I said, and you got to keep in mind too, you talking about trading for Jameson Williams, you don't really have much to trade with unless it's going to be a pick next year. And then see Keenan Allen, he costs you nothing. You can just go sign him. And they should be on the phone with him like tonight.
Yeah, because now it's something about the contract after today.
Well, yeah, what's going to happen is Keenan Allen is going to sign a 4-year deal for like $60 million, but it's just going to be a 1-year contract for 19. That's what Diggs got. That's what Cooper Kupp got. They got a 1-year deal for $20 million. And there's nothing preventing the Cowboys from paying that. And I do you one better. If you sign Keenan Allen, he's not going to play 17 games. So if you really like Mingo, You still gonna get to play Mingo because Keenan Allen is gonna miss 4 or 5 games.
I don't want Mingo.
Well, you got Mingo now.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna log off.
Okay. Well,
So-
you want to go ahead and wrap? We can. We can go ahead and wrap. So these wraps are long, and we can just we come back on tomorrow for the second round.
Yeah, we'll come back on tomorrow for the second round, y'all. So it was real. We appreciate everybody that came in and got our that we did good. I'm saying that we got an A on our draft so far. You know, we still
Yeah,
got
that's a
some
good
weapons
pick.
to get. Yeah, that's a good pick. You know, it's not the sexiest pick. You know, it's of course we wanted weapons, but hey, you know, it's just like Tyler Smith wasn't a sexy pick, but he's an All Pro, and we needed him. So now Dak has a cleaner pocket. Okay, so Dak has a cleaner pocket now. You know, our O line is getting stout now. So
Yeah, the
all we
Great
gotta do
Wall is rebuilding.
is rebuilding. And
Now we
got
just
that.
need a left tackle because I think Steele is gonna be better this year.
He finished
And-
the year good.
And we're not giving up on Tyler Guyton, but he got a long way to go. And
Well, what my eyes are on now is receiver and running back, guys. We get a good receiver, a good running back, a good couple of receivers, a good couple of running back. Whether it's the draft or whether it's trading or whatever it is, free agency, Keenan Allen, we're gonna be set.
Yep.
So tomorrow we got to think about that. And so we'll pop on tomorrow and we'll get in the second and third round and get on here with you guys. So we appreciate it. Shout out to all of you, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Appreciate it.